Hey everyone, welcome to Day Deal on Display. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Otterbox Defender case for the Motorola DROID RAZR MAXX. You are more than welcome to check out the Defender at any time over at its official website. That is going to be located at www.otterbox.com. As always, you're also welcome to check it out at our own website as well at www.daydeal.com. Let's go and start off this video by giving you the official measurements for the Otterbox Defender case on the DROID RAZR MAXX. Keep in mind that you have access to this information at all times. Just head on over to otterbox.com, click on the product in question, scroll to the bottom of that description, and there will always be a PDF file link for you to go ahead and access, save it if you need to, or even print it out, and that way you have these measurements available. It's great as a resource to compare against other Otterbox products or even against other brands. Okay, so kudos to Otterbox for having this information available at all times. So let's go and talk about the measurements for the Defender, starting with its colors. It is only available in black, unfortunately. Its weight is going to be 120.2 grams with the belt clip holster. If you remove the belt clip holster and just use the case, that is, to our measurements, at 66 grams. Its dimensions are going to be length by width by height or depth, and that is going to be 138.1 millimeters by 78.4 millimeters by 17.7 millimeters. Hopefully you find that information useful. Now, the Defender case is one of two cases currently available from Otterbox for the DROID RAZR MAXX phone. If you do not like what you see here today for whatever reason, please check out the Otterbox commuter case. And we would also like to say that this is the only case that happens to come with the belt clip holster. So if you want the belt clip holster, the Defender versus the commuter is the only one that has it, okay? It's because the commuter never comes with a belt clip holster. I just want to kind of throw that out of the door because some folks do get confused, or some folks are new to Otterbox and the way they do their products. So let's go and move the retail package out of the way, as well as our dummy phone of the DROID RAZR MAXX out of the way for just a moment, because I do want to showcase the Defender in all of its glory, as well as all of its parts. In order to do that, I do need a lot of space to work with. Now, the belt clip holster we'll kind of talk about at the end of the video. I always save this for last because it's appropriate. I do want the case in there. Let's go and talk about the main body of the Defender and what it is made of right now, starting with this built-in screen protector. Now, having a built-in screen protector comes with its pros and its cons. I am going to go ahead and address all of them. On the pro side, a built-in screen protector saves you a lot of hassle, a lot of headache. It's done for you. You don't have to go and fiddle around with it, and more importantly, it's done perfectly to the point where you don't have to worry about air bubbles, dust underneath the screen protector, etc., stuff like that, and it is pretty relatively easy to clean. Also, these are more durable than your self-adhesive versions of screen protectors because they're slightly thicker, and in general, they are more nicer and a little bit more scratch resistant. However, the cons to having a built-in screen protector is that they have a slight discoloration to them. They are a little bit murky, once again due to the material that they are made of, but they do create an air pocket underneath this protector and above the screen, and due to these openings on the built-in screen protector on the top as well as the bottom right here for that microphone, I believe, dust and then will eventually get underneath and get trapped there, and then you have to remove the entire case and clean it. Worse yet, if you're in a high humidity environment, in other words, a lot of moisture in the air, oftentimes or not, that will actually accumulate underneath the screen protector. It creates a rainbowing effect. That is what most people call it, and it rubs up against your screen. It's very unpleasant looking. It kind of warps and distorts all the colors and the screen itself. You have to go and remove the case, dry it off, clean it off, and then be on your way. Okay, so pros and cons to built-in screen protector, to each their own, whether or not you think it's worth it. Unfortunately, you cannot take this protector off. It is mandatory, I guess, to use on the case. You can cut it out, but then you go ahead and void your warranty from Otterbox, so I don't recommend doing that. So let's go and talk about the outer skin layer right now. Now, this is a silicone skin, and what's different about the Defender is that the silicone is on the outside of the frame or the polycarbonate layer, versus on many other layered cases it's the opposite. Usually the harder layers on the outside and the silicone skin is on the inside. Now, for those folks out there that don't like lint, unfortunately the Defender does attract lint like crazy. That is due to the silicone skin being exposed, and due to this type of material of silicone. So that is an unfortunate reality you have to deal with. I also want to mention that this is definitely not one of those cases that's easy to put in and out of pockets, because it will go ahead and stick itself to the linings of pockets, bags, backpacks, etc., stuff like that. And also, it is a pretty big case, so if you can fit it inside your pocket, it's going to stick out quite a bit. Now, there are dust covers on the top for the HDMI as well as the USB port, and the audio jack right there. There we go, that's a better focus. I'll talk about those in just a moment. And there are also coverings on the side for the power button and the volume up and down rocker switch. Let's go and move on to the frame layer. Okay. So this is a two-piece snap-on frame to the Motorola DROID RAZR MAXX. Let me go and take it apart right now. It's a little bit tricky to kind of pry apart, but there we go. So the top piece has the built-in screen protector. The bottom piece, or the rear piece, actually has a thin layer of foam padding on the inside. And this is really nice because it actually keeps your phone in place. It also provides that extra cushion should you happen to drop your phone inside the Defender. Okay, so there we go. And this is actually quite rare because a lot of brands out there don't use foam. I think it's a little bit more expensive, a little bit hard to put into their cases. So this is kind of a nice touch from Otterbox. So let's go and put the dummy phone in and continue on with our 360 tour. So I am going to go and snap these two halves together. Everything locks into place via these little teeth. If this is the first time using a Otterbox Defender case, it can seem a little bit daunting and a little bit complicated. Okay, don't worry about it too much. All these little protrusions right there, they're made for, it's just to keep the skin layer in place. Okay, they have nothing to do with the phone, etc., anything like that. So we are going to go and wrap around the edges right here, make sure all those teeth are locking in, and then we're going to go and roll the skin around these little grooves on the side. A lot of people do miss this, unfortunately, and then they think the case does not fit on their phone. Sounds kind of obvious, but it's happened a lot, folks. So once everything is in place, this is how the Otterbox Defender looks on the Motorola DROID RAZR MAXX. Let's go ahead and continue on with our 360 tour. Now the Defender creates a very significant lip along the sides for your phone's screen. And not only is it the silicone layer, but it's also the shell layer as well, or the frame layer, I should say. So your phone is going to be in good hands, even if you happen to rest it on its face like so, for whatever reason. It is going to be elevated up and away from that surface. But if you happen to drop your phone, not only is the built-in screen protector there already in place, but that very thick lip should catch whatever you happen to drop the phone against. Okay, if you're unlucky, something this small like a sharp rock is going to be right in the dead center, but for most intents and purposes that lip should catch the impact first. Moving on to the top, we have a dust cover that I mentioned earlier for the HDMI USB port. Losing my breath for a moment there, excuse me. It is quite recessed in there, but most connector tips should work just fine, although I'm not too sure if two tips will work at the same time. You may have to play around with it a bit. Now the dust cover for the audio port does make it a little bit recessed. It's not the end of the world. Straight connector tips will always work. Angled connector tips, those with a 90-degree angle, they'll work as long as the wire goes off toward the side. Okay, if you go do it toward this side, won't work. Front and back is a little bit dicey, so moving in that direction, you should be okay. This side of the Defender case, not much to talk about. Moving on to this side, covering for the power button and the volume up and down rocker switch. They do stick out quite a bit, and they are easy to press. Let's go on to the back. Opening for that rear microphone right there, Otterbox logo. That is the finish on the case. As you can see, attracting a lot of lint. The openings for the camera lens, LED flash, and the built-in speaker. Very nice. Let's go and move on to the belt clip holster. Okay, so this is a 360-degree belt clip holster. You can rotate it freely in any position you want to. It also locks into place and doubles as a kickstand, which is also nice. Let's go and show you the hinge on the belt clip holster itself. Those are nice, durable metal hinges, not spring-loaded stuff, definitely not plastic. That is always a cool thing to see. And what's nice about the Otterbox belt clip holster is not only is it face in, but it's also face out. And that's obviously used for media viewing. And it works both in portrait and landscape as well. I just got that order mixed up, although I would actually personally recommend using it in landscape only, okay, because the case is rather heavy. So there you have it, folks. That is the Otterbox Defender case. I am running out of time. I think it's an excellent product, although it is quite big. Remember the weight and the measurements I gave you at the beginning of the video. If you don't like the built-in screen protector and you don't need the belt clip holster, please check out the Otterbox commuter case. Other than that, this is a very protective cover for the phone. We would recommend to anyone who needs the protection. Check it out at otterbox.com, as well as our own website at daydio.com. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, as well as our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching as always. We'll see you in next video review.